perfect vent.
What's up, guys? It is Puck Time, and we are back on WagerTalk TV. Andrew and Carmine with you to break down a handful of games on the Monday slate here. We've got sides, totals, props. We've got a same game parlay for you. And Carm, no pod today, but you're back tomorrow with the bankroll builder with some big games to get to on Tuesday. We got a bone to pick with one team in particular. We'll get to that in a couple of minutes here. But first and foremost, congrats to you on your 5% NFL play, Carm. It is a hockey show, but you were hyping it up all week. We talked about it. We told people to grab it. I told people not to sleep on your NFL, and you cashed that. So congrats to you. And also congrats to the Carolina Hurricanes, who are the only undefeated team remaining in the NHL as they keep on rolling. So overall, Carm, how was your weekend, man? Any thoughts on the NHL right now?
Yeah, it's Saturday and Sunday were good. I had to cash that the NFL ticket. Andrew, let me fix my camera. I look a little crooked there. The NFL ticket on the Philadelphia Eagles, because Friday night I had the Tampa Bay Lightning. They lose in overtime to the Detroit Red Wings. If Johnny Detroit's watching this show, he's probably excited that his team won. I'm not happy about a 5% play losing for my clients. So, because this is a hockey show, so I want to be transparent with that. That did not go well for me on Friday night. Bounced back with a 4-1 weekend, 3-1 on Saturday, 1-0 on Sunday with the underdog Chicago Blackhawks. So we're right back at it today. There's 4 or 5 games tonight. And as far as the pod goes, Andrew, there's just isn't one I want to put out there because I know that there are other people that are watching the pod and want a pod play because they're going to play it. And my thought is, if I don't want to lose on a card that I don't like, games that aren't one of my client plays, then I'm not going to make it a pod and have other people put their hard-earned money. There's a huge card tomorrow. Tomorrow there might be 2 pod plays in play. So apologies on that. Sometimes just because you have the pod going doesn't mean you have to have a play every single night. But with that said, Andrew, Tampa Bay is in my bad books. What about you?
I'm not happy, Carm. I'm not happy. And you guys know we've been off to a good start this NHL season. I've been excited about it. And the really unfortunate thing is this here, guys. We know that a lot of people that buy picks at WagerTalk, the 5% mean the most, right? They're our highest graded plays. Obviously, as far as the grading, it's only 1% higher than the 4. But you got to hit the big ones. You got to hit the big ones. And Kyle is in here right now saying the Lightning got me the other day. And I want to say this to you guys all. I promise you, after every big loss, I'm not going to come on and have all these vents. But I got to bring this up here, Carm, because I haven't seen this in a long time.
That's insane.
6.9. When's the last time you saw a 6.9 expected goals for a team when they only scored 2 goals? Like, that was tough. 6.9 to 3.07. If anybody would have told you the final score of that game was 3-2, you probably would have been shocked. Carm, I gave this pick to a friend of mine. He put it on a parlay, of course, and he took 5.5, and he still didn't hit that. No empty net goals or anything. Insane. So Tampa is dead to you. Tampa is dead to me. And you know what that means. They're going to get rolling the second that we stop betting on them.
Of course. And, the thing that gets me, Andrew, and, when you put up a play, and we're not going to harp on plays that are over with, but just one final thought is when you put up a play, it is kind of like the NFL. Can you imagine you get down in an NFL game, you absolutely love it, and then they announce just before kickoff that the starting quarterback will not play. He came down with an illness. And that is the thing, the quarterback of the power play, I'm going to call it, but such an important part. Kucherov ruled out of the Detroit game with an illness at puck drop just before the game. This is an info that you want to hear because that power play with Hagel on the right side looked absolutely abysmal. And it was only supposed to be, they were talking about like it was just an illness that wasn't going to keep him out. So he should have been back in the lineup the very next night. And they sit him out as well too. So yeah, you can't be happy about it. You need that, but whatever, it's done. The Blue Jays won. Super excited for Toronto. What a game last night at the Rogers Center. Blue Jays beating Seattle. It all comes down to tonight. It is unbelievable what we have tonight, Andrew. We have 4 or 5 hockey games. We have 2 NFL football games. We have Game 7 of the ALCS. I am plucking myself down in some place where get there early, have the manager put on all the games I want to watch. The volume will be on the Blue Jays, and we're just going to have a couple pints and watch and hopefully get some wins tonight. But with that said,
Can't wait.
With that said, okay, you and I are eventually going to discuss Game 2 of the games we discussed today is going to be the rivalry, the Andrew versus Carm, Buffalo Sabres versus Montreal Canadiens rivalry. The Sabres have found their scoring. We will see what happens and will it continue in Montreal. But before that, Andrew, you know who else has discovered their scoring? The New York Rangers.
Don't tell me.
Let's hear it for the New York Rangers. Ooh, I took the over against Montreal. I would have been happy with a 4-3 Montreal victory, but the Rangers are playing better. Their chances are now going in. We talked about the XG, and I talked about the intersecting lines, guys. The XG, they've been setting high XG, just not scoring, whether it's puck luck or what have you. They are starting to score goals, and I hope it continues tonight, Andrew, against the Minnesota Wild. This is a Wild team that has been leaking some goals. I bet against them. I gave out the Flyers to clients against Minnesota. 3 straight losses for Minnesota, if not more. But they are leaking goals, even though the Flyers don't score a lot. Maybe this is the Rangers' first home win of the season, minus 135. I'm liking it right now. You have to pay a little bit more at a couple of the sharper books that I had mentioned before. I'm seeing 137s at a couple places, but 135 looks like the consensus line right now. I'm taking the Rangers to score their first home goal and hopefully a few more as well and getting the victory tonight. What about you?
Well, Carm, you and I are going to have the gloves off for the next segment, but it's not too late to have the gloves off already. Give me the Wild. Give me the Minnesota Wild tonight on the money line. Look, this is a team that I usually want to back at home. I usually want to back when they have the last change. This team has been kind of exposed for the fact that they have scored a ton. Most of their goals this season, Carm, have been all power play goals. And that's not a good thing. You need to be able to score 5-on-5 as well. You talked about the XG, and as much as I agree with you, and we talked about the Rangers, I watched that game, and trust me, usually I defend Montembeault more than any other Habs fan. Habs fans right now, in the Habs Twitterverse or YouTube or TikTok, they hate Montembeault. They hate Montembeault right now because there were 2 or 3 goals he would like to have back in that Saturday night game. So I think that when you look at the Minnesota Wild and their goaltending situation, it's going to be solid. You look at the losses the Wild have had lately, you know, they're going to get back to their old ways with defense because they gave up 5 goals against the Stars, 5 goals against the Caps. I feel like if anything, this game is going to be a defensive game. We saw the Wild hold out the Flyers to just a 2-1 victory. If you wanted to take a nap on Saturday, you could have tossed on the Flyers and Wild game. That would have been a good snooze fest game to look at here. But when you talk about a road trip here, I mean, this Wild team got it done against the Kings at home. They go on the road, 5-2 loss to Dallas, 5-1 loss to the Capitals, 2-1 loss against the Flyers. Sometimes we look at it and we say towards the end of a road trip, you want to fade a certain team. Well, I think the focus is going to be extremely high for the Minnesota Wild in this one because they have just been playing so poorly. So it's one of those funny spots, Carm, because it's like Rangers, they get momentum. Their star players are playing well. They're off a win. And now they go back home to fight the Demons because they haven't scored a goal in 8 periods at Madison Square Garden. So we'll see what happens, but I'm going to lean towards the Wild side. I will throw this out there as well, Carm. We saw Zibanejad be the shooter, the trigger man for the New York Rangers. I think 4+ shots on goal plus 170 is pretty intriguing there for him. Between the Breadman, Panarin, and between Zibanejad, those guys are going to be shooting the puck a ton. I feel like they went into the Habs game realizing who they are, and your best players have to be your best players. It sounds cliche, Carm, but I think it's pretty true.
Zibanejad is actually scoring. He early on, he was early on in the season, and we're only 6 games in. He was getting a lot of shots on goal. They just weren't going in. They're starting to go in, and it's a scary thing, Andrew, because I talk about and I saw some guys that they don't have the confidence in the Rangers. With Sullivan coaching or what have you in our live chat, but it is. I think when you're looking at a team like the Rangers, and they go on the road after being shut out, 3 straight games at home. They play a very good game in Toronto. They get the win in Montreal. Sometimes that's all you need is to get on the road, clear your heads, and start winning games. And I don't want to jump on the Rangers when they've won 5 in a row or 6 in a row. I want to jump on them when they're showing signs of life, and they are showing some signs of life. Will that continue here tonight against the Wild? Well, the Wild are, they opened up the season with that big win in St. Louis against the Blues. But since then, they're 1-4 since that game. And look at their goals allowed. Pretty much every single team in the NHL, with the exception, and in the Western Conference, with the exception of Chicago, who have played 7 games. The Wild are playing 6. They've allowed 22 goals, 3rd highest in the Western Conference, behind the San Jose Sharks and Calgary Flames, who have 25. And the LA Kings, a team that were such a good defensive team. Now, it's not an overreaction. I'm not saying the Kings are a bad defensive team. Okay, the Sharks maybe the Flames, but definitely not the Kings. And the Wild, I don't think, are a bad defensive team. They just haven't put anything together right now. And do I want to side with a team that is allowing goals like they are? Going into the Philadelphia game, they had allowed 20 goals, I think, in their last 4 games. That is absolutely insane. And they lose against Philadelphia. And Philadelphia is not a team with a lot of weapons. You have to believe that the New York Rangers have more weapons than scoring offense than the Philadelphia Flyers do. So with that in mind, this is why I'm leaning this way. And I'd probably look at the over as well too, but I'd be happy with a 3-2 New York Rangers win tonight. It wouldn't matter to me whether the game stayed over or under the total, but the Rangers are starting to score. And sometimes it would be terrible, Andrew, for me to be on this show every single day and preach about XG numbers, and when a team is underperforming, and then the minute and then stating that at some point the puck luck is going to go their way, and it's going to start, the gap between their goals scored and what their XG is going to shorten, and it's starting to happen. It would be stupid for me to say, well, don't take the Rangers tonight. So I think you have to take the Rangers tonight at minus 135, but you're not going to do it. So it's
I think too, when a team gets off the snide, as we say, then you kind of want to look back to them. It's like when a player is in a goal drought. Like, I guarantee this, Connor McDavid, he hasn't scored a goal yet this season. Once Connor McDavid scores his first goal of the season, he's going to go nuts. Like, is anybody worried about Connor McDavid? I don't think anybody should be worried about Connor McDavid. Once he gets back on track, like, here's a perfect example, Carm. And I know every single person in the live chat or watching the show afterwards, and definitely you, Carm, get me on this. You know how, like, if you're riding a trend or you're riding a team and then you stop betting on them, you know what's going to happen the game you stop betting on them. So on my show on Friday night, I was going over the Habs and Rangers game, and I told everybody, if I don't give out the first period over as a pick, it's 1,000% going to hit. And I think it was like 2-1 after the first period or something. We saw goals right away. It's just how it works sometimes, but teams work in waves. So like you said, they found their offense against the Canadiens. Maybe, and this is what's awesome about working together, Carm, maybe you've talked me into the over being the play, because Minnesota, even though at their true core, they're a defensive team, would you agree with me that they're certainly frustrated offensively right now, right? This Minnesota team. So maybe that frustration, they bring it all. They shoot everything at the net, and the Rangers will have some confidence. Maybe talking it out here live on the show with you. Maybe I like the over, because you know what? Minus 115. You don't get that often for over 5.5. I like the under in the Philadelphia Minnesota game, but sometimes if you need offense desperately, you're going to have to sacrifice some defense. So maybe we end up seeing goals in today's game. Maybe that's the kumbaya moment of the show here, and we just say, forget about the side. I'll take the total.
And Andrew, the flip side of that is what the Rangers have been doing this year. A lot of people don't like Mike Sullivan, but I think one of the things that haunted the New York Rangers last year in their disappointing season and not making the playoffs, none of which Mike Sullivan was a part of, was the fact that defensively they had a terrible season. The Rangers have normally been built on a solid blue line. They got Igor Shesterkin between the goal, and he's confirmed for tonight. He's going to be starting. I believe it'll likely be Gustafsson for Minnesota, but he's got them back to play. Let's play some D, and our scoring will take care of itself, and will find its way. And I'm hoping it's going to find its way, and they don't get shut out tonight. But I have to think there's positive things ahead for the New York Rangers. They're one team, honestly, that I don't, there's teams in the league that are a thorn in your side, Andrew. For you is the Pittsburgh Penguins a couple of years back. Me, it's the Montreal Canadiens. They seem to lose when I have no money on them whatsoever, and they seem to win when I bet against them. They're the thorn in my side. But the Rangers, I've probably cashed more tickets on the Rangers than I've lost with. So there's that.
We all have those teams.
We all have those teams. We shall see. Speaking of having teams, come on, man. Who put this game on today's schedule to talk about? It is the Buffalo Sabres and the Montreal Canadiens. The current number in this one, the Canadiens, almost a 150 favorite. I'm seeing 150. The Sabres take back is about 130. Total here is sitting at 6 right now, Andrew. Sabres finding some scoring of late, playing extremely well. I got to give them kudos. This is a team that a couple of years ago were scoring a ton of goals. Last year was a down year, but a couple of wins in a row for the Buffalo Sabres. They get Alex Lyon gets a shutout against his former team, the Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers, in a Sabres win. Can they make it 3 in a row tonight against your Montreal Canadiens? I want to hear what you got to say about this game first.
Well, one thing I'm going to say, Carm, is that shout out to Alex Lyon, as you just mentioned, because there was definitely a time where we used to crap all over this guy, and now all of a sudden he's playing pretty well. The goals saved above expected right now in the league. You look at the top numbers. Spencer Knight for Chicago, great trade, good 1-for-1 trade, kind of Seth Jones and Spencer Knight. Igor Shesterkin, Jet Greaves. Don't even get me started on Jet Greaves from Saturday night with the Tampa Bay Lightning game. Thatcher Demko, Scott Wedgwood, Connor Hellebuyck, UC Saros, Karel Vejmelka. But then in the number 9 hole, we've got Alex Lyon. And the expected goals against, number 3 for Alex Lyon. I mean, here's the problem, Carm, is that this Buffalo Sabres team, and let me know, call me, press the buzzer if I'm being too biased here, but the Buffalo Sabres have been giving up a ton of chances every single game. This is hilarious to me that Alex Lyon has been their guy that's been, holding it down for them. But eventually the Beaver Dam is going to break. When there's enough pressure and there's enough, scoring opportunities coming at you every single game, the dam is going to break. And when you look at, so if you guys want to know right now, which teams are getting bailed out the most by their goaltenders, Spencer Knight, UC Saros, Alex Lyon, Thatcher Demko, and Jeremy Swayman. Bruins, Canucks, Sabres, Nashville Predators, and the Chicago Blackhawks, Carm. So with that being said, it kind of does make me want to grab this Montreal Canadiens to bounce back and get the job done in this one. And I'm trying to take my bias hat off my head and remove the Montreal Canadiens fandom here, Carm. I do think that Lion has been a little bit overachieving. I also think that Buffalo in this head-to-head matchup, if you look at the numbers, has done a lot better at home. The home team has had a lot more success. I think Buffalo's a better team when they play at home. So we'll see. This might be just a props game for me. There's a guy, Freddie Mills. A lot of you guys should know him on X. He does a lot of baseball content and hockey content. Me and him were talking on Twitter today about a couple things, but one thing was that Ivan Demidov, the player that's the new young guy for the Canadiens that everybody's excited about, I think he's going to do a lot better, Carm, at home versus on the road. His number is plus 115 for any time point, and his power play point prop that you can get on him is plus 450. Now, last year, the Canadiens waited until the third month of the season to put Lane Hudson on the power play one. For some reason, Demidov is not on the power play one unit, but he's still getting these power play points. So plus 450 for a Demidov power play point, and at plus 115 for any time point. He does a lot better when he plays at home. Carm, tell me why this game shouldn't have goals. Tell me why the Sabres are going to win if you like them. And in all honesty, what do you think about that Alex Lyon stuff? Because he's playing extremely well, but can it be sustained?
Short term, it can be sustained. We've seen goalies go on runs, and it's how the team plays in front of them. It is always tough on a goalie when your team is playing from behind, which the Sabres were doing in their first 3 games. When you're ahead, obviously, it is much easier on, I think, on the goalie. You look at from their loss to the New York Rangers. You look at like XG, like in all situations. The Sabres 2.65 in their game against the Rangers, don't score a goal. 182 in their game against the Boston Bruins, score 1 goal. And then there is an increase, and it's 247 against the Avalanche. They lose 3-1. Again, underperforming. But now they score 8 against the Senators on 3.91 of XG. They exceed their XG, and they score on their opportunities. Against the Panthers, 2.86. Basically 3 goals of XG, 3-0 final score. They produce. Andrew, I get it. This is one of those games where the Sabres are off a couple wins, hit the road. They don't play as well on the road. A couple of years ago, they were a very good road team. Montreal Canadiens coming off a loss at home and off to a good start this season. But my friend Mo is in the building. I'm not sure if you've met him, Andrew. His last name is Mentum. And Momentum says you got to bet the Buffalo Sabres here, plus 130. I am putting the biased hat on, but also making this play based on Mo. I speak about it all the time that teams on a run, sometimes they just win games you don't expect them to. And this is what is happening right now. So Mo, come on, man. You know you can do it, Mo. Get the win in Montreal tonight, because then tomorrow when you and Buster are on, I can wear one of my Sabres. I've donated most of my Sabres jerseys.
Donated it.
No, you want to know why? Here's the thing is, a lot of my jerseys from when I worked in radio at the Fan and I had like the press pass, I would get them autographed by the players. So I get invited to a lot of my friends who have kids and they have the banquets for their kids' hockey team. I donate all the autograph stuff to them for like their silent auctions and what have you, to raise money for kids hockey. So it's going to sit in my closet, or it's some kid is going to win a jersey and be absolutely super thrilled to have it. It is like catching a baseball at a game and there's a kid beside you crying. What does a 57-year-old man need a baseball for? For what?
Unfortunately, Carm, there's a lot of jackasses out there in the world that think they need the ball. Unfortunately,
to the kid.
Honestly, I've known you for, I think, Carm, like 8 years, so maybe 6 or 7 years. That might be one of your best jokes I've ever heard you tell, and you fooled me right away. I'm not, even, and that's not a bad thing. That was just like you caught me off guard. You got everybody in here saying I'm out here thinking Mo was a real person. I am 1,000% stealing that from you. I will be stealing that from you probably tomorrow.
Yes.
I'll start using that. I wanted to address this real quick. Damn, Caulfield and Suzuki point combo already minus 145. It is crazy that these books, Carm, are starting to catch up to the fact that people love betting the correlated parlays with the same gamers. Like, I've been talking about it, and I've got a same game parlay that we're going to get to, but these correlated stuff, that's why I'll tell you guys that here's the secret, is that you look at the daily face-off, you look at the line combos, and obviously you want to get the guys in the same line, but to me, it's all about the power play, because sometimes the guys that are on the power play aren't always on the same line. So that's what I'm going to look to for that. All right, Carm. Looking forward to actually, there was one more thing I wanted to mention in this game here. Curious your thoughts, but I like these bets. Both teams to score plus 160 in the first period, Buffalo and Montreal. If your friend Mo is feeling good in the first period, then maybe we'll get some goals early on. So BTTS, both teams to score first period, plus 160. Not a bad price there, guys. Not a bad price.
I was on, I think it was, I don't know if it was Thursday show or last Monday's last call, and Joe Madden had a both teams to score in the first period as well too during the show, and it hit. She wasn't aware, but I let her know that when the second team had scored. So sometimes those ones pay good prices, Andrew. If you can find good spots for those, they definitely pay good money. Guys in the chat, if you haven't already done so and you're watching on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button and join the ever-growing community here at WagerTalk. Over 220,000 subscribers and growing each and every day. A lot of live shows. I know someone at the beginning, Cody, I think it was, mentioned, why is this and the opening line report on at the same time? It is, you can always watch the opening line report right after this show and just watch it taped, because this is the best damn sports show out there right now. Yes, Prez. I know Prez is not even watching. Andrew, before we get to your same game parlay and the third game on tonight's card, Don Buster, who will be a guest on tomorrow's PuckTime show, has a 5% play up in the NHL. If you head over to his page, wt.buzz/DB, you will find that play, this first, I think, 5% play of the season. I think it's his first 5% play of the season. But with that said, Andrew, I'll leave it up to you. Do you want to do your same game parlay now, or would you like to do it after the Carolina Hurricanes Vegas Golden Knights game?
We'll go over it after the Hurricanes game. Actually, well, how about this, Carm? Because I actually have 4 props in the same game parlay. 2 of them are from one game, and 2 of them are from the Carolina game. Why don't you give us your thoughts on the Carolina game, and then I'll give my same game parlay afterwards, because I have 2 props in that game. So we'll keep it going with that. But guys, and the same game parlay, I'm just going to say real quick, manage the bankroll, sprinkle a little bit. It's going to be really fun for all of us to cheer on together. And hopefully we can have some fun with it. We don't need to hit these every day, Carm, right? If you're giving out 4-1 or 6-1 or whatever it might be, you don't have to hit those every day. But what do you think here, man? This is one of those spots where your friend Mo is probably going to like the Hurricanes here with how well they're playing. And I tried fading them against the Kings the other day, and I had a rant on Twitter. I was pissed. And you can tell when someone lost a bet because of the way they're talking. And I'll tell you, I'm sick and tired of 3-on-3 overtime. Like, the Kings were down 3-0. They came back and tied it. It's not hockey anymore, Carm. It's keep away. That's what it is. It's keep away. You skate around. You pretty much wait till the other team gets tired. You get your fresh legs on the ice. I think the Kings touched the puck for 1 millisecond in overtime. So anyway, I think that the momentum is on the Hurricane side, of course. And part of me walks into this game thinking, why do I want to go against Carolina anymore? Because they can keep, a streak only gets broken once, as Marco always says, but it can keep going on and on and on and on. So does this West Coast road trip land in perfection for Carolina, or what do you think?
Well, you're talking streaks. I want to talk a different streak, but it could very well end tonight. This is probably the toughest game that the Carolina Hurricanes have had all season long, and it's all season long is 6 or 7 games thus far, 5 for them. So it's not a lot, but I think it's by far is the toughest one. The Kings, just because they haven't been playing well defensively, and I think they only have 1 win on the season. I wouldn't call that a tough game, even though it did go to OT and with Carolina winning. But I talk about streaks, and until I get priced out of this one, I'm going to continue to take it, guys. Last season, the Vegas Golden Knights started the first period over was 6-0 in their first 6 games at home, 10-2 their first 12 games at home, over 1.5. 3 home games thus far this season. All 3 games have gone over the total. The VIG is only about minus 130 here. And while that's normally, you would think minus 130 VIG, it's tough to beat. On first period totals, the VIG is normally higher, and we're going to see it get higher at some point. So I'm going to look for it to go 4-0 here against the Carolina Hurricanes. It doesn't matter to me who scores, as long as they get a couple of goals here, and it'll be 4-0 on the Vegas Golden Knights. And I'll keep taking it until they price me out or the streak comes to an end with a couple losses in a row, not one, with a couple losses in a row. So over the first period, minus 1.5. Let's see if we can make it 4-0. Let's keep that streak and trend alive.
Carm, people were talking about you in the live chat of my show on Friday night about that first period over, and it was like you go to your kitchen to grab an extra beer, and you come back, and all of a sudden the first period over has hit in Vegas every single time, it seems to. So this team seems to get off to really good starts. And one thing we can say is that maybe this Hurricanes team has been on cruise control so far this year. Everything has been easy. They haven't faced confrontation once. You touched on the fact that this is certainly going to be the hardest test that Carolina has faced. Maybe that turns into goals. Maybe that means that we end up seeing, some of these guys get on the board, but also deal with some kind of defensive issues a little bit here. A couple guys in the chat are talking about it here. Hal under on Ehlers' point. I don't know. I think I might take him to get one in this game. He's a top line player. The team is 5-0. He hasn't got a point yet. This might be the game to do it here, Carm. Look, we haven't put this one on the card. Everybody in the chat seems to love Seattle, Carm. Any thoughts on that game today? This team, they seem to win when they should and lose when they should. But at the end of the day, looking at this spot for Seattle here, it is a little bit tempting. The
weird thing is, and I'm just going to bring it up right now. I was thinking about discussing this one, but I just want to put it up on the screen so I get what the 3-way line is in this game. And there it is. Okay. So Andrew, a draw in this game, which is tied after 60 minutes, is plus 330. The last 4 cracking games have all gone to overtime for this team, and I think 3 of them on this road trip. They still have games left, I believe, after tonight's game. I think they play in Washington, if I remember correctly, and then I think Winnipeg after that. I could be wrong, but I think it is Washington and Winnipeg to close out the a 6-game road trip. So this is a team, as I mentioned, sometimes when they hit the road, it takes on a life of its own. And sometimes even when you come out with an OT loss, when you pick up points on the road, they are valuable points that you're picking up. Think about the teams that missed the playoffs by a point here or a point there, that lost a game in regulation instead of OT. So plus 330, if you think it's gonna be the 5th time in a row that the Seattle Kraken game goes to OT. There's a lot of people with confidence on it. We'll see if that works out for them. As far as starting goalies, I'm pretty sure I saw that it should be Decord and Urson. So I'm having a look, and nope, Dan Vidar is confirmed for Philadelphia, and expected goalie is Joey Decord for Seattle. So Vidar had a very good game against the Minnesota Wild. So I can completely understand it, giving him another shot at it as well too. because it's not a back-to-back. So
Ice
yeah.
X says, I'm on Flyers -1.5. Wow, you got to love that.
Ooh.
Jay says, so happy it's Dobis, not Montembeault. Look, I might be the only one in the world that's ready to defend Montembeault. I know he needs to be better. I know the shot from the point wasn't good, but let's not forget that one of the goals wasn't a tip. One of the goals wasn't a 2-on-1 top corner goal here. The thing that makes me mad, Carm, and I'm a Montreal Canadiens fan, obviously, that pisses me off is that every single time they lose, it's the goalie's fault. I've never seen a loss where it wasn't Montembeault's fault. I don't think the Canadiens have ever lost where it was the defense's fault. And as a Canadiens fan, that's what bothers me. I know Montembeault is not having a good start to the season, but it's like, I think that people just got so used to Carey Price being the best goalie on the planet for so many years, and that anytime the Habs lose, it's always got to be the goalie that lost it for them. Anyway,
I will tell you when it's the goalie's fault, because normally if they, for lack of a better word, if they screw me over, I'm filming a video in the morning of the old man yelling at the clouds, like I did when it was Anton Forsberg for the LA Kings, who he just looked snake bitten in net. Those were 3 horrible goals.
Yeah,
Horrible
that
goals.
was bad.
And that was a pod play, but we'll see with your guys. I'm never going to be able to pronounce his name correctly, so I'll just call him Dubes, because you and the Montreal Canadian fans are going to have to smoke some Dubes to forget the game tonight if the Buffalo Sabres win. So go light one up on your porch. Speaking of which, lighting one up, you've lit up a nice same game parlay. So tell us what you got here.
Look, we got 2 picks in 2 different games here. We've got Mark Stone, who's unbelievable right now, whether it's goal or assist. The guy's on a roll. He's got a point in 6 straight games. I mean, going back to last year, this guy's on a point streak. More importantly, his assists have been really good. So when Mark Stone's getting assists, you guys know he's doing extremely well. Ivan Barbashev, he's on the first line as well. When you talk about the first line with Mark Stone, Jack Eichel, and Barbashev, guys, he's not nearly as talked about, but he's on that line. He's on the power play. So he's definitely worthy of taking here. And I think Carolina could get caught sleeping a bit defensively. They're feeling so good about this game here. Eriksson Ek and Matt Boldy. You take a look at the Minnesota Wild there and how they line up. You got Kaprizov, Eriksson Ek, and Matt Boldy as the top line. Obviously, Kaprizov's going to have the highest odds, guys. You want to look towards his teammates. Someone has to pass the puck to Kaprizov. Kaprizov passes the puck to them. So instead of looking at the number 1 guy on the team, you look towards his 2 teammates on his line. Not to mention those 2 guys are also on the top power play unit as well. This is plus 545, guys. Plus 545 for our first same game parlay. These are 4 players that I expect to have a really good night tonight, Carm. That's it for me, man. That's it for me. I've got so far 2 NHL plays for clients. We've got 1 4% best bet in the NFL. I'm on a 15-6 NFL prop run. A couple plays might be trickling in throughout the day, but more importantly, 1 best bet in the NFL, 15-6 prop run, and 1 NHL 4% play. So can't wait for today. Hopefully going to be a really good one. More importantly, there's one team I care about. The Blue Jays today is one team. Yeah, how often do I wear hoodies on a show here, guys? Well, maybe during the day on a show, but it's the Blue Jays all day today here, Carmen. I cannot wait.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. I'll get to that one in a second. A couple NHL plays up for me. Passing on soccer today is only like 3 games. Don't like any of the 3. There's no plus EV in any of them that I can see of the games. But Champions League, a couple plays up already for Tuesday that they're both best bets, 4%. One for Wednesday and another one coming shortly for Wednesday as well too. And 2 plays up in the NFL. So it has been a very good NFL run for me, having a winning season in the NFL. So I'm going to put together, and we'll probably tweet it out, a rest of the NFL, rest of the NHL season promo that you guys can grab if you want to follow along. Going to be a good season, and it's shaping up. 4-1 yesterday, Andrew, for me in Circa. Such a great run going on in Circa. I'm pretty sure I'm in the top 100 out of 6,000 people with my plays this season. Over 60% I'm hitting in the Circa contest, and having a good quarter as well too. So I'm hoping to pick up another one of those little checks like on the back of my chair there. if I ever take the Tennessee Titans again, someone please kick me in the teeth.
I took them too.
My only loss. But our trusted producer, who's not here today, Dan Alexander, I talked him all week off of Minnesota, and I told him that the Eagles would win. They were my 5% play. They won. He did not take Minnesota in Circa, so I saved them there with that one. And as far as the Blue Jays go, man, listen, Game 7, super hyped tonight. Going to be watching it, of course. Sean Bieber, this is why the Jays took the chance and picked them up to have him ready for a Game 7 against any team, to have him pitching. I hope he pitches like the Shane Bieber of old and not Justin Bieber, the singer, because if it's Justin Bieber, then we are in trouble tonight. But with that said, in the corner on a small monitor, in the corner will be the Buffalo-Montreal game, like a very small monitor, because it's just whatever.
Can't wait. Let's have a great night, guys. Awesome night. 2 NFL games. We got some NHL games. We got the MLB. Cannot wait for tonight, guys. Again, shout out to Carm for his 5% NFL. You've got a million people that do NFL content. Carm is not going to be in your face, guys, with his records. He's won a fat check. You can see it up there at the top of his screen for the Circa. He's going to do well in cash again this year. Don't sleep on Carmine's NFL. Carm, maybe you'll get an NFL and NHL combo going for you for the rest of the year or something like that. But let's keep it rolling, guys. I'm in bounce back mode in hockey, and I cannot wait. And 15-6. You guys know, NFL, I do sides and totals. Love the props. 15-6 NFL prop run. I cannot wait. All right, guys, that will do it for Puck Time. Hope you guys enjoyed. Shout out to all of you guys watching in the live chat or afterwards. We appreciate you. Drop a like, drop a comment. We'll see you tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern, same time, same place.